Happy Independence Day! So we are here right outside the West Yellowstone entrance, and we got here a couple days ago. Like yesterday was a pretty good day. I would say that today was probably the worst with child behavior and stuff. We were gonna do a hike to the lower falls, and right away, like Thor was just being a pill all day, like he is right now. Anyways, he was just being a pillow. Thor! Stop yelling! Stop! Freak. Thor's been like freaking awful today. Yeah, Thor's just been awful. We go to hike down this, it's switchback trails, and it's a 600-foot drop in total, and it's like 3/4 of a mile down. And we get like maybe 1/4 of the way, or 1/4 of a mile in, and Thor the whole way down is just like calling me names. He's being belligerent, like disobeying. I'm telling him to stay away from the edge, and he's just going next to the edge. And so finally at a bench we stopped, and I made him practice. Like, when I say practice, like, so let's say he was standing next to the edge, he has to go and stand, not on the edge, but like stand up, and I have to say, Thor, would you please walk away from the edge? And then he has to walk away, and he has to practice however many times I've told him to. So we had to practice that. He had to practice calling me nice names instead of bad names. We had to practice him not sitting in the middle of the trail, because that was a danger hazard, as well as standing on the edge was a danger hazard. They needed to behave just because it was dangerous. So he was not listening. We sat for literally an hour on these benches, and then finally Tirza said she had to go to the bathroom again. So I was like, okay, you have to finish practicing once we get up there. Tirza has to go to the bathroom. And once we started to walk up, he immediately threw a massive meltdown tantrum, like crisis stage. And so because he wanted to finish his practice, and he wanted to go see the waterfall, and like it just wasn't going to happen anymore, just because of the length of time we had taken for him to practice. So we start heading up, and he's throwing himself about. It was like extremely dangerous for me and the other two, like safety issue, and other hikers could tell. And so one mother came and took Tirza's leash and walked her up the mountain. Another guy came, and he took Titus on his back, and a lady that was next to him took my camera gear, and I just grabbed Thor and I started carrying him up the mountain. Well, first I grabbed his backpack and I started dragging him up, and then after that he wiggled his way out of his backpack, and so I had to carry him up the mountain because he was being disobedient and throwing himself about, and I didn't want him to fall off a cliff. So, and this was in the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone, so like they're cliffs. It's not just like a little drop off. Most mountains we've been on, it's like, anyways, so it was dangerous. So when I was carrying him, I had to hold his arms down, because Thor likes to hit and scratch and punch. So he was attacking me, so I held his arms, I held him. I had to like back my head away because he was trying to headbutt me. It was just a full like crazy tantrum on the side of this mountain. I just walked him, like I passed basically everybody carrying him up the mountain. I'm also used to carrying like 3 kids at a time. So I packed him up. We took Tirza to the bathroom. We had lunch in the car. The rest of the day has just been meltdowns for him. Like, I don't know if he just misses home, or if it's just too much sun, or what's going on, but not every trip is sunshine and roses. The highlights of the trip, I would say I love that the kids got to earn little junior ranger patches. Right, Tirza? You got to fill out these little books and color in them, and they attended a junior ranger course, and they just basically got to earn a little patch that says that they were junior rangers, which is awesome. So they have a little patch now. So I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of work to go solo camping with your kids, like besides packing the gear you need and the clothes, and making sure you have extras of things, because kids, you know, get wet, they pee their pants, they like, hopefully they don't get sick and puke, but stuff happens on trips. So, you know, like these aren't the easiest adventures. And even though like sometimes I yell at my kids and they're like the worst to go to bed at night and things are really hard, you know, I feel like I'd rather be doing that. I know that having my kids outside is going to benefit them, and I have no idea how this is going to ultimately affect their lives or how this is going to be in the future. But I'm really hoping that taking them camping and doing these adventures, even when my husband has to go to work and we have to be away from him for a few days, like I hope that all of this turns out to be really beneficial for my kids in the long run. I'd have to say that Yellowstone was an awesome trip. I would do it again with my kids. Obviously, we didn't get to do everything, especially with the amount of days we were here, and with kids, everything takes 100 times longer. So hopefully we can come back, do this again. Hopefully we can hit more sites and see everything that we would like to see. I'd like to see the mud volcano next time. But this time we just got to see a few things, and this was a really nice area to camp in. I just feel really weird that people drive by while I'm videotaping myself, and my tape's gone, so. We were just on our way down to the falls here at Yellowstone. We're in the parking lot right now. We got partway down and then Thor refused to stay away from the edges or get out of the walkway, and so we sat and practiced for about an hour, and he still refused to finish practicing. And before we could finish practicing, Tirza had to go to the bathroom, so we needed to hike back up the mountain. And when we started to hike back up the mountain, Thor had a meltdown, which was not safe for anyone. So people on the trail could also see that it was unsafe, so they offered to help me carry Titus up the mountain and Tirza up the mountain as I held Thor's hands, and I finally got him up the mountain, and we went potty, and now we're just in here having our lunch. Not every trip we can see everything we want to, because not everything always goes exactly how we'd like it to. Anyways, I'm physically and emotionally exhausted, so I don't think I could physically handle going down the 600-foot drop of switchbacks into the canyon in order to see the falls I wanted to see today, so we're just gonna eat, move on, shake it off.